Hi, this is Katie Schell, and this is one of my videos about Mary Magdalene. In the other videos, I have one that talks about her ability to help us understand compassion, and how we have to be really secure and self-aware in ourselves in order to witness suffering in others. I have one where it talks about her as balancing the masculine, divine masculine and divine feminine, as well as one where I really focus on the oils that I use to work with her. In this video, I want to focus on this need and desire, this necessity to be physically present for all things. And that by being physically present in the world, we are able to be more ourselves, be more in tune to our environment, be more in alignment with our soul's desires and our spirit's desire. Well, really our spirit's desires on what it wants us to do with this body in this time. And so by trusting her, she walks with grace. So that's one of the things I say a lot about her, is she teaches us to walk with grace and balance in between the physical and ethereal realms, because she does that. That's part of the reason she works with the essential oils and anointing, is because that they come from the physical earth. They are physical things, but they become distilled into the spirit, into the essence of whatever that plant is. And that allows us to tune into higher level frequencies. So that's why she is a myrrh bearer, a priestess of Isis, all of these other things that allows us to understand how we become more aware, how we become more present. And like I said, I have another whole video that really gets into the oil part of it, but we don't have to do this through oils. It's part of it. But it's about trusting that we are here in this physical plane for a reason, that we are here to experience physical life because our spirits have called on us to do this. The spirits have requested this experience. And the more we fall into, the more we become aware of what we need, what we desire, what is around us, the more our paths are clear, because we see the thing that is right in front of us, and we're not so distracted by things outside of that path. It's not that we want to walk around with blinders on. It's almost the opposite, because we notice all the things and we go, yes, this is mine. Yes, no, this is not. And again, then we come back into that thing that I call the nuanced intelligence of the divine feminine, which is about taking in lots of little bits of information and being able to act on them very quickly. And so when we have our spirit and kind of directly connect the spirit to the body, and taking out the mind for a moment, we become more physically present. And then we can integrate the mind again in understanding the patterns and making conscious choices about how we use that information. And so she helps us with all of this, because she is the one who really brings all of these different pieces of being together, because she's done it. She has, and in doing so, her voice has been suppressed, because all things associated with the divine feminine are often feared and controlled. And so narratives are changed and altered in order for us to become more acceptable, to fit whatever narrative that the patriarchy wants us to follow in order to conform and do all the things that they want us to do. The feminine is much more about fluidity and much more about sensory. And understanding and moving and feeling and shifting and changing. The divine feminine is very fluid. So Mary Magdalene connects us with that fluidity, not just within our physical bodies, but the fluidity between our physical bodies and our ethereal selves and our higher selves. So we can do things like walking and moving and connecting with her energy, and so that we become more centered within ourselves and trust ourselves. Because if she doubted anything on her path, her self-awareness, her ability to do what she did despite being told over and over again that she was wrong, that she was in the wrong place. So we think about with the Gospels, that we hear the stories, and of course we have to remember that this is part of this is presenting a narrative of trying to suppress things that are associated with the feminine. So we have to read everything in the Gospels, everything we understand with a grain of salt. But one of those things that we hear about a lot is that she was chastised or tried to be removed, or was told that she didn't belong with the disciples, with the apostles. And when we who follow her are very much aware that she was an equal in a lot of ways to Yeshua, that people were not willing to see that. People were not willing to do it. So we see her trying to be removed from his following, from his teachings, or as somebody who is less than. And then we see, you know, as she is the first one who witnesses him when he rises, she is, you know, there's the story is that they didn't believe her, because why would he see her first? And so these, I mean, all of those stories aren't great. And then the story with the red egg, when she goes to the emperor to tell him what happened, and he's like, I don't believe you. And the story is about, she's somewhere and they tell her, we don't believe you. And she keeps on going on with her mission, and she keeps on moving forward with what she knows she needs to do and what she knows she needs to bring. And so she's here as a guide for us, as somebody who has, and when we think about ascended masters, they are people, they are beings who have experienced this planet and then hang around, or they come back to help us become more masterful in our lives, because they've experienced it and they guide us. It's not necessarily that we need to understand and memorize their stories. It's that they have experienced things that they want to share with us. And so that's what she's doing. And the thing that she's doing is stay clear in who you are. Stay clear to your path. Stay clear to your truth. Trust the information that you're receiving through your body, and be willing to share that and to move forward as you are more centered, as you are more aware, as you are more confident in who you are, and you are clearer in your purpose and desires and needs, that it all stems from the physical. Again, she is the one who anoints the bodies. Anointing the bodies has to do with moving, is transmitting life codes, is moving between the physical and ethereal. And whether you are doing this actually through essential oil anointments or just through her energy and spirit, it is still going to help you accomplish the same things. And it's really important to not focus on the stories and the narratives, because those are changing based on the purposes and the desires of those who are sharing them, whether for good or bad, whether true or not true. We shift things. Realities change, but the energy and spirit of what the teachings bring don't. So you want to trust what feels right in this physical realm, in this physical time and place, because anything else is just will help, isn't just anything. It exists, but it knocks you out of where you are. And so we constantly are finding ourselves processing those things from other times and places, but it needs to focus us back in line with where we are right now, and that bring us back to the present. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day.